The sunlight breaks through my window shortly before my alarm ruins the morning silence. I feel sore. The events of previous evening suddenly intrude upon my consciousness, and I find myself blushing. That was an eventful evening, and explains perfectly the soreness in my lower back. The walk back, as I recall, had been rather tense. My trousers had been soiled. I had washed them off in the bathroom before going back to my room, but this was a fairly obvious looking stain on the front. Fortunately for me, the only person I ran back into and my back was Kenji, and he didn't notice a thing. Well, apart from me being in a general vicinity. Of course, he'd ask how the night went and whether or not I'd learned anything of importance. I don't even know if I opened my mouth to answer. I was too tired to care. This morning, I admit that I'm feeling pretty worn out. Still, Emmy has promised to meet me at the track, and I'd hate to disappoint. She's indeed waiting for me when I arrive, doing her best to look cheery despite the fact that she's sitting in a wheelchair. I waved to her to begin stretching. "You're early." Emmy frowns and shakes her head. "Ridiculous. You were late." "Overslept, Sal?" I'll tuck her out. Well, at least she seems more like her old self. And as expected, she doesn't seem that shy about mentioning our previous activities. "Hey, you're lucky I can show up at all. All the cardiovascular activity last night, I nearly thought I'd have seen the nurse afterwards." Emmy laughs out loud, and then her face suddenly becomes concerned. "Hey, that's not you're not..." You won't spit it out. It's just that it would be hard to explain if you had to episode while we were, oh. Now that you mention it, it really is a legitimate concern. I certainly hadn't thought of last night, of course, although more pressing concerns have been at hand. Well, I don't think anything we're due is going to be any more restrained than these morning runs. And I handle this fine, so... And reconsiders his point. Oh my god, that is scary. That's scary. That's the scariest thing I've ever seen. A devious light appeared in her eyes. "Say." "Hmm?" The light vanishes, and Emmy grins ruefully at me. Oh my god, that was really scary. My face was really close on the screen too, and I saw that thing twice. Because it was appearing twice on my screen, and I'm like... I can't help but be vaguely suspicious. I seem to have forgotten a pair of gloves. "What do you need gloves for?" Emmy indicates the chair upon which she is seated. "For this, of course. Sure, regular moving around is all well and good without him, but I won't be able to get a good workout. And I need to get the kind of speed, you gotta have gloves if you don't want blisters. So what, are you wussing out on me then? Do I have to go in alone?" Emmy thinks for a moment, or pretends to think. If I remember right, there's a spare pair of two in the track shed." Sure, she does seriously want to do it then. But in her normal school uniform? I'd have to expect her to wear a gym outfit for something like this. Wait, what are they doing there? Emmy looks askance at me. "Seriously? You can't think of why a shed full of track supplies at a school for disabled would have racing gloves?" Well, when she puts it that way, I suppose that makes perfect sense. Well, I'm still getting used to the place. Give me a break, huh? I guess I can let it slide this time. Now come on, I'll need your help. I can't imagine what for, but then again, I didn't have a clue what racing gloves would be in the shed, so I'm not willing to press the issue. Yes, Al. You don't know, but Emmy and I know, I think, once you go here. Emmy navigates her way to the shed easily though. Enough though, I can hear her grumbling under her breath. It's actually kinda cute. I hurry a little to reach the door first, opening it easier for me than her. The door opens and Emmy starts to wheel inside, only to come to the sudden halt to the doorway at the doorway. It seems the door sill is slightly too high for her to get over by herself. She makes a few runs at it, unsuccessful, before crossing her eyes, glaring at the offended object. Stupid wheelchair. Sal, can you give me a hand here? No problem. Oh god. Okay, never mind. I don't think there's enough room. It's a full enough matter for me to bump Emmy over the doorway, jostling her slightly. Hey, easy there. Oops, sorry. It's about this time that I failed to notice where I'm going to run Emmy's chair into a mat. She gives a startled yelp and topples forward out of her chair. There's a moment of silence as I gape in horror upon what I've done, and Emmy glares at me. Sal, yes? Promise me you'll never work at a hospital. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Emmy giggles and holds up a hand. Would you kindly help me back up into my chair, Sal? As I bend down to pick up Emmy, she grins in triumph and pulls me into a kiss that quickly has us both entirely unconcerned about getting her back into the chair. In fact, as I move to a more comfortable position, I confess that the chair is pushed out of the door, which, startled by the passage, swings shut. Oh my god damn it, just fucking, she's quick to take her clothes off too, I guess. Well, at least we've got privacy now, which is a good thing, as my hands work quickly to remove Emmy's blouse and skirt. Okay, I guess it's Sal with the quick hands on the quick draw here. I'm starting to discover that she forgot to put her bra on today. Did she plan on this? Her arms tuck under mine and rest under her shoulder as I kiss on my way down to Emmy's neck, pausing to give special attention to the spot right where our neck meets the shoulder and I found last night. You become pretty good at this. I do try. Emmy pushes it at my chest instantly, and I draw back with a puzzled expression. Oh god. Options, please. This is disabled. And what the hell? I've got a confession to Sal. Oh? Having pulled back, I decided to instead focus my attention on her breasts. As she doesn't speak her words, interspread with giggles that I find incredibly cute. I don't actually wear gloves. My own reply is rather mumbled into her chest instead of being addressed to her face. Should have known. Words quickly become irrelevant, and these movements are almost frantic, as if she's been holding something back since we met this morning, and now she has an outlet. I'm really caught off guard by her aggressiveness, feeling her nearly rip my shirt off the way she seems to vie to be in the dominant position. For my part, I confess that I am caught up in her attitude as well, putting back, rolling, and wrestling, even as I caress her breasts, even as her fingers dig into my shoulders and I lose track of where we are. So much that I roll all right off the mat and land on something and small rather hard. Ow. I'm still flushed and breathing a little heavy, peers at me and bursts out in laughter. I'm sorry. Are you alright? Yeah, I think so. Not sure what I landed on though. Reached onto the back. Well, offended objects now, inspecting it closely. Personal lubricant. Lemon flavored. Wait, what? Emmy's eyes shoot upward as she begins, if possible, to laugh even harder. Somehow I don't think this is even track related. Oh man, I know who that is. What? It's the track captains. My old nemesis, of course, or kind of. How do you know it's his? Appears to have asked Sue a question, or at least Emmy thinks so. Because he's the one who told me the track shed was a good place for, what did he call them? Clandestine encounters? Oh, he invited you to one of those or something. He burst into more laughter. I confess, the sight of naked Emmy laughing is oddly beautiful. I feel my eagerness to end conversation get back to what we were doing despite my rather pointed questioning. It's how the track captain's gay. Huh, really? And here I initially thought you two were a couple. Well, I did have a crush on him when I first joined, but he wasn't interested. Obviously. But we were good friends, I guess. I mean, he told me all this, you know. I hesitate to ask, and really I do, but I ask anyway. But what does he need the loop for anyway? I mean, he doesn't how does Emmy always manage not to blush? Obviously, he used it for Oh my god, face again. I try to suppress the snicker. I feel anal. Emmy's getting going to. And he tells you all of this. And he shrugs. Of course. He's kind of wild in all things. Says it's a feeling that he can't be beat. A feeling that can't be beat, huh? Uh-huh. The air in the track shed seems charged with some kind of horrible curiosity. That's interesting. I suppose I'll have to take his word for it. Well, birds outside stop chirping. The wind dies down. Somewhere a man is drinking a cup of coffee. He freezes with the cup at his lips. We could... Oh my god. Oh god, please. We could maybe... try it. My jaw suddenly and spontaneously unhinges and hits the floor. What? Emmy's finally blushing, rubbing the back of her head ruefully. Well, it's just that we really can't do what we did last night, you know? It'd be I wouldn't be safe, you know? I mean, it wasn't exactly a great idea last night. So, you know, we could try to see if it, is as good. Well, yeah, basically. Huh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Shrimp. Oh god. What the... The sudden switch from pleasure to pain caused me to lose my balance and I fall forward on top of Emmy. Ow. Ow. I quickly roll off Emmy and prop myself up, breathing heavily and trying to ignore the pain in my crotch. Emmy yelps a little as she rolls over. She grabs a couple of tissues we kept handy earlier and cleans up before getting her panties back on and awkwardly leaning against a wall. Still breathing heavily, I decided to sit back against the wall next to her. The feeling of the cool concrete against my sweating back is a welcoming sense. That hurt at the end. Yeah, that was probably not a great idea. I mean, squirms in order to try it and sit down beside me without too much pain. Judging by her wincing, it doesn't really work. Yeah, I'm not gonna have a word. I'm gonna have the word with Captain. He was clearly lying. Oh my god. You know... The utter and absolute ridiculousness of the situation suddenly hits and I begin laughing. Emmy shakes her head at me and is laughing with me. Hey, it's Al. Yeah? We're never doing this again, right? Yeah, I think my curiosity is satisfied on this one. I mean, not satisfied. Good. I think we should maybe stick to the basics, don't you? I mean, most of this new to me anyway. What do you mean, most? Emmy grins implicitly. I'll never tell. An unpleasant thought strikes me. Even more unpleasant is the thought of having to ask Emmy about it. So afterwards, we've just done it. Should be a cakewalk. Hey, is there a sink? I kinda like to wash off a little. Emmy's jaw drop. Is in the sink? Well, there's not really anywhere else to do it, is there? And I want to avoid a smell that the nurse might notice. And this is an awkward conversation I've ever had. You're right. Yeah, it's on the back wall. There might be some soap too. Thanks. There's a little hand soap, which is better than nothing. No towel though, guess I'll have to drip dry. All finished? Yeah, that'll do for now. It's not like I'm gonna take a shower after we see the nurse. Glad to hear it. Now help me find clothes. You tossed them somewhere. Hey, you were no better. How am I supposed to explain the hole in my shirt? This whole part is gonna be blank. It's alright, I got a little excited earlier. Thank God. Thank God. That was just a pain in the ass. I wish I had something to drop, but I don't have anything to drop. It takes some time, but finally, we're both more or less clothed. There's a bonding moment where neither of us know where Emmy's wheelchair is, but I recall it going through the door and rescue it. Now be more careful going through the door this time, would you? Bumps are not my friend right now. I'm so sorry we tried this. Emmy shrugs and grins. Well, it was worth a shot, right? And anyway, it was a good exercise, right? Can't forget that. Oh my God. My friend wants to know when I get through this, so I'm just gonna fucking do this right now. Oh my God. I guess you're just... As we make our way to the nurse's office, I notice that Emmy keeps shifting uncontrollably in her seat. Yeah, I would assume that. God, this feels weird. I'm feeling I'm in a wheelchair, Sal. Why is that? Because now I don't have to explain why the nurse won't walk me. Oh, we're never doing this again. The nurse is at least kind enough to comment on the marks that Emmy left on my shoulder, nor does he say a word about Emmy constantly shifting in her wheelchair. Either he didn't notice, or he didn't want to notice. I wouldn't want to notice either, to be honest. All the same, I'm going to have to make sure he didn't slip cyanide in my medication for a little while. Amazing. Just to be safe. I shower for longer than usual, just to be sure. I'm clean off a little experiment, and then collapse on my bed. Class is in 20 minutes, so I can probably afford a nap. What? No! It's in 20 minutes, you better get there. Oh my God, no. Knock, knock, who's there? That's not how the joke goes at all. I already said who's there. More importantly, what time is it? More than what day is it? I am suddenly catapulted into wakefulness, but both the fact that knocking still isn't taught and the fact it's noon on a school day. Now fully awake, I can't remember why I was napping. Better not give an excuse. What? Better not give that excuse to myself. Sorry, I wasn't in class. I was experimenting sexual with my girlfriend and tried to, yeah, that'll go over well. I wonder how long the knock is going to continue. Guess I ought to answer the door. I'm strangely unsurprised to see Kenny on the other side. It appears that Kenny is surprised to see me. What are you doing here, Matt? While I was sleeping. Kenny nodded, understanding. Knocked out, I see. I told you to be more careful, that Ibarazaki chick, man. This is the sort of thing that happens when you aren't cautious. He made some attempt to look at the back of my head. Did she hit you with something? Or was it a drug? Stop trying to touch me. What? Kenny produced a flashlight and shined in my eyes. You got a concussion? I wasn't knocked out. Maybe you still remember. This conversation isn't going anywhere. No, I was just tiring morning. I just had a tiring morning and I fell asleep. Whatever, man. If you want to be in denial about this, I guess I can't stop you. You want to watch out for the girl, man. She's not safe. What? She's not safe to be around. She's one of their most sinister agents. If you're not careful, there's no telling what could happen. She brought down stronger men than you know. What the hell are you talking about? She's not an agent of anything, and she didn't knock me out, okay? I also highly doubt she brought down anyone at all. Kenny looked almost offended. I have no idea why. You don't believe me? That's cold, man. Real cold. Just trying to look out for you. That's what friends do, you know? Or friends? I had no idea. And again, I wonder if Kenji knows what being a friend even entails. I feel something like pity yet for him, standing there before me. Maybe he does think he was looking out for me. I know. Sorry about that. Thanks for the warning. I hold my hand out for sign of peace. Kenji shakes it gingerly, like my hand could possibly be on fire. There's an awkward silence for a few seconds before Kenji remembers that he's still shaking my hand. Anyway, I need a favor. What kind of favor? I'm out of money. No, you aren't. You've got money kept in your desk drawer under my black notebook for emergencies. Did you ransack my room? That's not important. I don't need money anyway. He adopts a very serious tone. I'm about to undertake a major op. It'll blow the whole conspiracy wide open, if I'm right. But it's dangerous, so I'll need you to do something for me in case I don't come back. Sure man, anything. What the hell are you planning to do it? Should I be telling someone about this? If I go missing, wait 3 days, and mail my journal off to the newspapers. It's hidden in my room under the false bottom in one of my desk drawers. How do I get into your room? I don't have a key. Kenji looks at me like I'm crazy. So pick the lock. You know how to do that, right? Someone skilled to learn at a young age. Yeah, of course I know how. I'll be sure to do that for you if you go missing. I don't think I want to read Kenji's journal. Either way, Kenji seems pretty happy I've agreed to do this thing for him. Great man, great. I'll see you around and got stuff too. And he's gone, dashing down the hallway. He made it seem so final. I hope I don't have to carry out his final wishes. Shaking my head, I closed my door and walked back to my bed. Guess I should go to class, if only to catch the last half of the day. But I've got this far without class today. And I didn't want to read more of the hawking book Mattel lent me. I'm sure you'll understand. This time, noise jerked my attention away from my book. An experience not unlike being woken up. Who's there? Me, aren't you glad? Voice muffled through the door, but unmistakably Emmy. I hop up the open door and smiling broadly. Hey, nice to see you again. Emmy grins back, staring at me from her wheelchair. Yeah, you would have seen me earlier, but the damned elevator wasn't working. Had to wait for them to fix it. You'd think they could keep it in better order, but no. I chuckle a bit at her vexed expression and invited her in. She wheels in easily. With my help, she hops onto my bed. There, much more comfortable than that stupid wheelchair. A sigh of contentment hangs in the air. For a moment, we both just stare at one another. It's at this point I notice the circles under Emmy's eyes. They're not dark, but they definitely weren't there before. Before I can ask about them, Emmy fixes me with a mischievous. Oh God, please don't tell me it's that stare again. Oh God, no, okay, good. So I can help notice you weren't at lunch today. In fact, I don't think I saw you at all. What happened? Fell asleep. I actually didn't wake up until lunch, and only then because Kenji woke me up. Why were you so tired? Strenuous workout this morning. Slightly uncomfortable too. Emmy coughs in a half-laughing, half-embarrassed noise. Remind me not to do that again. No problem. It wasn't exactly great for me either, to be honest. We'll just avoid that from now on. Are you still sore? Emmy stares at me in disbelief. What? It's a legitimate question. Of all the questions, I never thought I'd be asked that one. That's one of them. Well, I didn't ever expect to have to ask it, so we're even. Emmy laughs at this. I guess so, huh? Well, since you asked, yes, I'm still a little sore. We're never doing that again. No arguments from there. I yawn escapes her and I raise an eyebrow. Tired? Emmy nods sleepily. I haven't slept well. Not sleeping well. I can tell that she didn't mean to tell me this either, because she gives me a little start like she just been caught lying and hastens to add. It's not a big deal though. What's the trouble? Emmy shrugs and refuses to elaborate. stressed over exams? Another shrug, but after a pause, Emmy nods hesitantly. Yeah, I guess. Actually, that's why I stopped by. She begins to look more miserable. Not so you'd notice, but of course, her eyes are on her lap. She's fidgeting and her voice is quiet. We need to stop hanging out so much. Huh? Why? Emmy takes a deep breath like she's been practicing this. Because you're too much fun to be around. I can't concentrate when you're near me. The exam's coming up soon, I just can't have that distraction. Otherwise my grades will be pretty lousy, I'm afraid. I could help you study. She smiles at me, clearly unhappy with the situation. I'd love it if you could, but we wouldn't actually study, would we? I mean, even now, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but I just want you to, not converse. No. Overwhelmed by my rugged manliness, I understand. This earned me a grin, at least. Emmy shakes her head. Idiot. You're full of yourself. Well, I am pretty irresistible. More or less, I guess. So that's the situation is out. I have too much fun around you, and if I'm gonna go into exams prepared, I need to be alone. Hey, that's okay. It really seems to be been bothering her. Besides, it's only a couple of weeks and we'll still need to see each other around in the mornings and at lunch. You just have to hang out at school, no problem. And after exams, we'll go on a date to celebrate things being over, okay? Emmy grins, pleased by this proposal. Yeah, sure, sounds great. As if to signal the end of the conversation, she leans in and kisses me. The rest of the night is not spent worrying about exams. Oh, I guess they spent the night together. Oh, fuck.